So, for those of you who have sex, let me explain to you the video game culture and the latest thing going on here. So, there is a large gaming company called EA, Electronic Arts. They've been around forever. I remember, gosh, Nintendo, they've been around for a long time. The original founders sold it. They bought 3, 4, 5, 20 different times. They infuse billions of dollar IPO. Douche canoe douchebags who never play video games are in charge. Their current guy has the nicest hair. They have got the biggest douche canoe dude bro. If you want to see dude bro, I know the dude bro. It's more of a Finn bro. Is the guy with the Patagonia vest with the coffee? Okay, that's true. That's a douchebag. But dude bro should be this guy Andrew Wilson, not to be confused. Andrew Wilson, husband to Rachel Wilson, different Andrew Wilson, dude, bro. He's been the CEO recently, and he was tentatively they were thinking he might replace Bob Iger because he's also a douche canoe. So you can't replace a douche canoe without a younger douche canoe. So it was gonna maybe, but now, oh wait, both your stock prices fucking suck. Anyway, so Electronic Arts is most famous for their EA Sports department. You probably, if you don't play video games, you're aware of Madden Football or FIFA, or I think, and don't they have an NBA game? 2K NBA, is that it? I could be wrong. And that was the bread and butter. And they literally just took the same game, updated it for the current players in the various professional leagues. I think they're simplist. I don't care to play. I'd rather play basketball. But very successful. And then they also created some other video games, but they're not as popular as their sports franchise. So what ended up happening last week or a week ago, this company was taken private by two main groups of investors. One is a private equity firm, I believe, headed up or influenced by Donald Trump's son-in-law. Am I right about something with Donald Trump's relative? Not a good sign. Not that I hate Donald Trump. It shouldn't be nepotism. Whatever. So that's a private equity group that took it over. But I believe most of the funding came from the Saudis in the form of their their sovereign wealth fund. I forget what it's called. And if you want to worry about something, worry about the private equity. But that's what people are worrying about. Well, uh, normal people don't care because you guys have lives and you're getting laid. The freaks and the weirdos and the perpetual victims are worried because the freaks and the weirdos are more invested in the non-sports games of enrolled Electronic Arts. And that would primarily be the Dragon Age video game series, where if you're having sex, you definitely don't know about that video game series. So the Dragon Age series is a Dungeons and Dragons type of game. It started out really good. The latest one, you've probably seen it hit the mainstream media because the girl in this is wizards and dragons and goblins and spooky things. And it got a hold. A bunch of millennial activist writers got a hold of it. Apparently, there are no street people, and the video game ended up becoming a self-therapy soap opera about transgender this and girl boss that and square 32-year-old millennial pre-programmed politics, and it ruined the fucking game. That would not be anything newsworthy. They would just take a hit, which they did financially. But the media and the shills within the industry were Jason Schreier, were you saying? Was that you, Jason? Were you the one saying it went to the top of the chart? Wasn't that you, I'm pretty sure, Jason Schreier. That was you. Liar, liar, Jason Schreier. I was going to get that one. But the left-wing media, if you can believe such a thing exists in the video game industry, the left-wing games journalism industry, it's the greatest game ever. Reviews were off the top of the charts. And this has importance to me because, one, I like video games, but two, these are not cheap games. And young people don't have a lot of money. And young people are sick and tired of paying $70 for what is not a good video game, but leftist propagandist shit and slop. And so, surprise, it ended up being leftist propaganda shit and slop. If you look at enrolled agents, I'm such an accountant. If you look at Electronic Arts, EA's stock price, it's kind of been flat the past 5 years, depending on where you want to mark it, it's down from its peak. So this was the left again, trying to infiltrate another medium, another form of media, to promote a message. And Mr. fucking frat boy douche canoe sits there with his balls in his hands. Bruh, Madden 75, bruh. Well, I don't know why. I know why, but I don't think they did a good and analytical job. But the Saudis want to diversify out of oil. Smart move. Then they pay for a game that is for a company, a video game company that is stagnant, hasn't had a hit. I believe they didn't get the renewal for Major League Baseball. One of the major leagues did not renew so they can't just paste new names on the exact same graphics. I think its PE ratio was still around 50. I'm like, why don't you buy a bread and butter company with the good cash flow? Never mind. I'm not hired by the Saudi sovereign wealth fund. That would have been a great job for me back in the day. Any sovereign wealth fund. Yeah, what do you want? I'll go analyze it for you. What are you, crazy? I don't care how nice his hair is. He's a schmuck. Anyway, so the whole deal is a $55 billion deal. And the people that have the main concern are obviously the LGBTQ trans community that was very popular or prevalent, I should say, in the studio that made Veilguard, not to mention all the other left-wing activists that are in all the other video game studios that are under the employ of Electronic Arts. And of course, the right side of the video games journalism media went and promoted that and sensationalized. Look at what these crazies are saying on their social media accounts. They're very afraid. They're very afraid that because of the effectively new Muslim owners of Electronic Arts, that this game will therefore not represent LGBTQ, leftist leaning, whatever. And it's like, I sure fucking hope they don't, because that's not their fucking job, nor has it ever been a video game's job to represent politics. And a lot of people are like, oh my God. And the Saudis this is the only acquisition they've had. They've been buying a lot of Western companies and Eastern companies as well and taking positions and all that. A lot of people are worried about the Chinese taking over a lot of the video game industry. But all I have to point out is this is just me. This is just my observation as a cynical, calculating, stoic analyst. I think Islam might be good for the video game industry. And not just Electronic Arts, but now it's only going to be Electronic Arts. But what's the worst that's going to happen, really? I want to know, what is the worst that's going to happen here? If, one, I think the Sovereign Wealth Fund is smart enough not to turn it into a propaganda machine like you people did, right? They probably say, we'd like to make money off of that. I'm not sure if you're aware of money. I know that only your ideology matters. The Saudis aren't that stupid. The Saudis, yes, they are Muslim, sure, but they're not stupid enough to say, and let's make it everything about Islam. Let's not make a profit off of it. Let's use this to promote our ideology. And I think the Muslims, or the Saudis in this case, are probably a little bit more intelligent. Like, yeah, you know what? We're not going to jam the Muslim faith in people's faces, all right? Because we'd like to make a profit. But we sure the hell aren't going to jam other people's ideologies in their faces, namely the LGBTQ, and not the real LGBTQ trans community, or people who are actually not straight. I'm talking all you straight people who fake it because you don't want to work a real job, and that's all you got is your politics and your leftism. You psychopaths. I don't know, the ones that, like, I don't know, murder. What was it in Demolition Man? Murder, kill something? Oh my God, it's a murder, kill, destroy. Oh my God. See, I'm going to credit the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund with having enough business acumen, even the private equity, well, maybe not the private equity group, the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund. I credit them like, yeah, we'd like to make a return on our money. And forget the fact we disagree with the gay community or propaganda or whatever else, like, because we're Muslim and that's in our book. That's not profitable either. And so for that reason, we're going to kick that shit out. And then also, because we're Muslim, I'm going to think in conjunction with, we're also going to kick that shit out. And for everyone worried that Electronic Arts, let alone any other company that's going to be owned by a sovereign wealth fund or a foreign company, for example, China owns a fair amount of shares in many different companies. Surprise, they put out video games with girls with big tits and tight asses. Oh no. It's funny, the Chinese company is called Tencent, and they just basically own Ubisoft now, and they own different, and they put out games that are fun. Who knew? Is there some communist CCP propaganda there? Maybe. Nobody cares. I mean, it's basically, and here's unfortunately what everyone within the activist community, because I try to make a distinction between the authentic, real LGBTQ community who are actual, not straight people, whatever your gender might be, and then the activists who just do it because they want to feel good about themselves and they don't want to work for a living. What was the point I was going to make with what the audience and the market wants are fun, good video games. And I think you can have owners understand that and still deliver on it, even though ideologically, whether it's politics or religion or activism, I think people could say, yeah, you know what? Let's just make some fun for the kids. All right. And I believe the Saudis, although Muslim, I don't think they're going to shove propaganda in people's faces. And that's where you activists fucked up. No one gives a shit about your propaganda. Some people might, but they don't want it in their video games, right? Just as I don't want to see left-wing propaganda, I don't want to see Donald Trump propaganda or right. I want to see politics in my games. I want to take a break from it. No matter how much you think your politics is right or how important it is to you. I believe the Saudis are going to be way better stewards of Electronic Arts than the current population, current managers are, current owners are now, although that's switching now, than the owners were in the past. And let's say we have to take propaganda. Let's say you guys are worried and your concerns are true, all right? And the Saudis start putting in some Islamic propaganda. Okay, you know what? I'll take that over we hate males and we hate America and we're going to trans this and I got my nouns. We're going to pull a barv. Look it up. It's stupid. So I'm bi. I'd rather, because what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Pro-nuclear family? Are they going to portray Muslims maybe in a good light? Like, oh, here's a Muslim good guy and he's helping out whatever, the good guy do his mission. I mean, oh my God, might there be maybe a moral lesson from the Quran? I mean, is there a parable there? And it might, you may disagree with Islam, but they have some rules and ethics. There might be something good in there. right? I mean, what are they going to do? Have a quiet, obedient wife who's nice and go? What? Oh no! A wife who's obedient, quiet, and kind. Oh my God! Wait, that would sell it. That would help sell it. I don't think the Saudis are as stupid as the previous owners of Electronic Arts. They're not dumb enough to shove their politics or their religion, in this case, in everybody's face. And just as Tencent, I think it's called Marvel Rivals. I believe Tencent got the licensing agreement from Disney for that. Disney, by the way, has obviously made every woman ugly and disgusting and the men weak and stupid and right. Well, the Chinese got a hold of this and they did a classic, there's the hot chicks and ripped guys. They're superheroes, Marvel superheroes. Sold like hotcakes, but they're communist. I don't care. They put out a superior product. They didn't lecture or sermonize it. And you know what? I'm sure somewhere, probably more spyware than anything else, but I'm sure somewhere there might be some pro CCP propaganda, but I haven't heard anyone point it out. And oh my God, so what if there was? It's a fraction of the propaganda the left has been trying to shove down everyone's throats. And here's the other thing. The Chinese made a good game. See, you guys didn't even make a good game. You made a shit game with propaganda because you're leftist and you're lazy. You don't have any skills or talents or abilities, or let alone hardships that you all came from the suburbs and mom and dad paid for everything. Oh my God, I went to writer's school. All right. China's still a second world country. The people have to work hard. They do the 6 nines. Look it up. They know what it's work. They know what it's like to be happy to be home and have human relationships. And they say, yeah, we don't like the Americans. We don't like capitalism. But you know what? Everybody likes Chun-Li. Everybody likes her in her outfit. Everybody likes whoever the other characters are in the Marvel Super Game hero thing. But they're all jack dudes and dudettes. And that's what they like. We're going to give it to them. And then they made money so they could keep the lights on. What was your plan there, leftist activists, to provide a shitty game nobody wanted, and then the money ran out, and then collect underpants and then profit? What was stage 2? What did you think was going to happen when the money didn't come in to cover your cost? You thought that was what? They just go back to the stock market and do another IPO or a second PO or third or fourth IPO? And then just investors just keep giving you money so you guys could have basically these welfare jobs that you get to play make-believe video game developer. Are you aware other people exist and you got to give them what they want, not what you want to give them? You're like, I'm thinking about going into town and getting some Culver's, right? Right. You know why I'm going to go to Culver's? Because they could give me what I want, which is typically the mint chocolate chip concrete mixer. But if he said, oh, here's your patchouli San Franciscan homeless bum piss shake, which maybe you leftists drink all the time. Oh my God, my patchouli leftist San Francisco bum piss shake. Oh, it's my favorite. It's just my faves, totes my goats. I mean, you do you, but I would stop going there. Oh, here's your feces with fentanyl, Chicago, Southside Chicago shake. Oh my God. I'm a Democrat. Nom, 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 noms. I loves it so much. Well, that's fine, but generally those are going to go out of business. So yes, I would not. I'd worry more about the private equity than I would the Saudis. I don't think the Saudis are going to screw it up. And you know what? I'd be okay with some traditional values, albeit Muslim traditional values, being look, here's a normal Muslim family. Look, there's a husband and a wife. It ain't two dudes. It ain't two gals, which I'm not necessarily get. Oh, look, they got kids, and the kids aren't gotten fucking tattoos and pink hair and dumb shit mouthed off to the parents. It's a respectable nuclear family. And you know what? Maybe can you imagine there might be some good lessons to learn in Islam? They might have a good lesson or two in there. And oh my God, there's a prayer in school. Heaven help the kids. Oh my God, they said a prayer. Dear God, protect the classroom. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. So That's the latest. If you want, you can watch the freaks freak out. Ah! Oh my God. And then meanwhile, I want to know how many of them were pro-Palestinian. I want to know that. I'm confused on that. Right? Because there's those people in there. They're all pro-Palestinian, but now they're worried that their company got sold to the Saudis. Which is it? Don't worry. They're going to make it better. Okay? Because it couldn't have gotten much worse. All right. Link below. I have a link to my book, Bachelor Pad Economics. Get your financial shit together so that when the Saudis come up, hopefully with a good video game, you have the disposable income to afford it. Wow, this isn't full of leftist propaganda shit. Why is she quiet and obedient? She sure is nice. Just to fuck with EA won't do it. The Saudis should come out through EA, the quiet, obedient wife video game. You got to train her. Oh, Jen, also this probably has a degree in engineering or something. Space Cowboy, $5. There was a time where the majority of gaming devs were expected to put out quality games. You didn't have to second guess if they were compromised. Yeah, I will never buy a new video game again. I bought Borderlands 4 and it's not complete. It doesn't work. There's a lot you could play it, but I got locked out of a boss. I found out I had to play through the whole level again. And I'm like, I'm not playing through the whole level again just to get to that boss so I can finish the game. And then I kind of mopped up all the side quests that I could. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this game because it was so frustrating to figure out where I had to go. The guide doesn't work. Your compass doesn't work. No one talks about that in that game. They talk about it. The frame rate. Okay, yeah, frame rate, one thing, but wait till you get to try to use the map and the navigational tools. It's broke. Don't get Borderlands 4. I'm not kidding. Wait for 3 years to go by for them to patch the whole damn thing up, for them to release the DLC content, patch that up, and then get the deluxe patched up DLC edition 3 to 5 years later at GameStop for $25. But do not buy it now. Just go play your old games. Plains Warrior, $2. I just gave Pop a super chat and felt guilty. Here, why do you feel guilty giving him a super chat? You don't have to give me it. That's fine, Plains. That's all right. Pop deserves it. Space Cowboy, $5. EA was once voted the worst company in America 2 years in a row. By like who? By employees? Or I mean, I know the stock price went up. EA. Stock price. Let's do max. So they were, so they peaked during no, that's before the disease. Then they crashed. Then it went up during the disease, and then it stagnated, and now it's up. It's up because of the buyout. Yeah. A PE ratio of 50. Oh, shit, man. Obviously, you're not fundamental investors over there at the Sovereign Wealth Fund, or Saudi Wealth Fund, are you? A dividend yield of 0.38%, quarterly dividend amount 19 cents. I'm not paid. You guys don't pay me. Kenny Firebird, $2. Wow, keep politics out of our games. What a concept. I know, make everybody hot. What's it? But see, Kenny, that's look, this whole woke experiment, at least in the private sector, is over. All right. I mean, they're always going to have their affirmative action hires and Karens and DEI. That's going to be there. But the products, people aren't going to buy your shit. You have to make a quality product. Your product cannot be your leftist politics. No matter what your teachers and professors hoodwink you into thinking otherwise, other people have lives, and their lives don't involve leftist politics. It really is. It's the ultimate example of solipsism, because they can't think that there's other people out there. They really think you guys are just these cows that are supposed to give them money because they said correct politically leftist thing, and that's the most important thing. I mean, you look at a lot of them, they do stories about themselves where they're self-inserts. Um, whether that's, She-Hulk, The Acolyte, uh, they really think they're the only human beings on the planet, and the rest of you are just this cattle who are supposed to worship them. Like you just didn't get good leftist socialist propaganda yet. Like, no, we don't we don't like you. We don't care about you. We don't wish you harm or you die or nothing, but we're not gonna like, oh my God, female Indiana Jones? Tell me more, girl who starred in that movie. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Tell me more about, oh, you're so brave and amazing. Ass bucket, $2. What about Grand Theft Auto Win? I'm not. No, that was I'm two main reasons. The politics, you don't know what it's going to be, but mainly these program video game developers, they just have no quality controls anymore. They have no quality controls. There's no reason to buy a brand new AAA game. No reason whatsoever. You got to wait at least a year or two before they fix all that shit. They're going to release it. It's going to be buggy. It's going to have it. It's going to be a mess. Wait for them to patch it up and then find out also whether it's woke or not. And we'll find, look, you guys just got to be patient. You just got to wait a year or two. Go hike, go lose weight. You don't have to play Grand Theft Auto 6. Wait for a year or two for it to be one, good, and two, to be proven not to be some woke fucking girl boss. Oh, look out. Just wait for it not to suck. I tried to kick Lucy's football and I regretted it. And we don't ever have to kick the football again. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Toodles.